Magandang araw po ulit sa ating lahat. So muling nagbabalik si Teacher Camille para po mag-discuss ng panibago ulit lesson. So tayo po ay nasa week 7 na ng inyong module. Ang title po ng i-discuss natin ngayong week 7 is all about, ayan, so operations of radicals na tayo. So sasagutan natin yung ating learning task 1 and 2 sa inyong module. So without further ado, let's now start answering your learning task number 1. Okay, so doon muna tayo sa letter A. So sabi sa letter A, sabi dyan, make each pair of radicals similar by reducing the radicand. And sa ating letter B, sabi, referring to each pair in letter A, do the following. So ito po yung gagawin natin sa letter B. Ayan, so therefore, papagsabayin na natin yung letters A and B sa ating learning task number 1. So mag-start tayo sa number 1 in your learning task. So sa number 1, ang given po ay square root of 2 and square root of A. So, ibig sabihin, yung task nating una, gagawin nating similar by reducing the radicand. And, yung sa letter B nga po, so, 4 yung ating isa-solve. Siyempre, using the given. So, sabi sa A, find the sum. B, subtract the first radical from the second. C, find the product of each pair of radicals. And letter D, divide the second radical by the first radical. So, gagawin po natin yung addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division since tayo po ay operations of radicals. So, yan. So, para po hindi na magtagal, let's now answer number 1 sa letter A. So, sabi, make each pair of radicals similar by reducing the radicand. Now, paano po ba tayo nagre-reduce ng radicand? So, sabi kasi natin, ano ba pag sinabi nating similar? So, sa radicand po, pag sinabi nating similar, dapat same yung index at the same time, same din yung radicand. So, for example, I have cube root of 4. Similar po siya sa cube root din dapat, sa cube root of 4. That's the time lang po na masasabi natin na yung dalawang given radical ay similar. Yun. So yan, ito po ay isang halimbawa ng similar. Also, for example, I have a 3 square root of 5 and for example, negative 2 square root of 5. Similar radicals po yan kasi ang rule lang naman para masabi nating similar, dapat same yung index nila. So pareho naman sila ng index na 2, di ba? Square root. And same din yung kanilang radicand, which is, in this case, 5. So, that's the time daw na masasabi nating similar yung ating radicals. So, yan. Magsimula na po tayo sa number 1. So, sa number 1, the given is square root of 2 and square root of 8. So, may clue na tayo. So, alam natin na dapat yung isa sa mga yan ay maging square root of 2. Ibig sabihin, etong 8, kailangan may mapalabas tayong 2 dyan. Kasi nga, gagawin natin siyang similar radical. So, therefore, yung square root of 2, syempre, yan na po yun dahil hindi natin yung mare-reduce. And then, yung 8, papaliitin natin na dapat meron po siyang 2 na makukuhang factor. So, ano ba ang multiply natin kay 2 para maging 8? So, yan, tama naman. We have 2 times 4. Kasi nga po, pinapalabas natin yung 2. Now, papaliitin natin yan, syempre copy lang si square root of 2. And then, ano po ba ang square root ng 4? Di ba yan po ay isang perfect square? Yan. So, ibig sabihin, what is the square root of 4? Alam natin lahat ng square root of 4 ay 2. Tama? So, pag nilabas ko si 4 doon, 2. And then, ano mangyayari kay 2 doon sa loob? Syempre, mananatili po siya sa loob. So, eto na po yung nakuha nating similar radicals. So, we have square root of 2, and then yung isa from square root of 8, naging 2 square root of 2. So, therefore, similar radicals na po sila. Nakuha. Now, kapag similar radicals na, pwede na natin umpisahan kuhanin yung letter B sa ating module, yung letters A to D. Yan, dahil similar na yan, let's now start answering letter B. So, sabi dun sa letter A, ito ko nasulat. So, sabi sa letter A, kuhanin daw natin yung sum ng pair ng radicals. So, kukuhanin natin yung sum nitong dalawa. So, we have square root of 2 plus 2 square root of 2. Now, sa pag-add po ng radicals, guys, kapag similar radicals lang, doon lang tayo pwedeng mag-add or mag-subtract. Parang yung rule lang din po sa fraction. Since similar radicals na to, we can simply add. Now, paano po yung rule natin? Parang sa ganito lang yan. Parang for example, I have x plus 3x. Dahil similar yan, pareho silang x yung kanilang variable. Ina-add lang natin the numerical coefficient. Kapag walang nakalagay, automatic yan ay may 1. So, anong ginagawa natin yan? Ina-add lang yung numerical coefficient. So, we have 1 plus 3 and then just copy the same variable x. So, ganyan din po yung i-apply natin when it comes to radicals. Just add the numerical coefficient. So, we have invisible 1 here plus yung 2 dito and then just copy the same radical which is square root of 2. So, ganun lang kasimple. And then we add. So, 1 plus 2 we have 3 and then copy square root of 2. So, therefore, eto na po yung ating final answer. Since wala naman tayong mare-reduce na dun sa loob. So, yung ating radicand. Nakuha. So, yun na po agad yung answer sa letter A. So, letter B na tayo. So, sabi sa letter B, subtract the first radical from the second radical. So, subtract daw natin to dito. So, we have 2 square root of 2 minus square root of 2. So, same rule tayo kapag addition and subtraction. Sinasubtract lang natin yung numerical coefficient. So, in this case, we have 2 minus yung invisible na 1 natin. And then, just copy the same radicals po. Nakuha. And then, we simply subtract. So, 2 minus 1 is 1 square root of 2. Or simply, pwede nang hindi ilagay si 1 as numerical coefficient. So, therefore, this will be our final answer na for letter B. Ayan, so madali lang naman, di ba? Let's now proceed with letter C. So, sa ating letter C, sabi, find the product of each pair of radicals. So, imumultiply naman natin tong dalawang ito. So, we have square root of 2 times 2 square root of 2. So, sa pagmumultiply po, guys, ng radicals, madali lang. Same rule lang din dun sa addition subtraction. Pero ang pinagkaiba, sa multiplication of radicals po, kahit hindi magkatulad ang kanilang radicands, ang importante, magkatulad ang kanilang index. So therefore, same rule tayo dun sa pagta-times ng ating numerical coefficient. So we have the invisible 1 here, 1 times yung 2 natin dito, minumultiply lang natin yung numerical coefficient. At the same time, imumultiply din natin yung ating radicals. So, copy lang po yung same index, square root. Same yung index nila, di ba? Yung invisible 2 kasi square root. And then, minumultiply po natin yung radicand, yung nasa loob. So we have 2 times 2. So walang kaso kahit magkaiba yung radicand. Ang tinitingnan lang sa multiplication is yung ating index. Dapat same index po. So in this case, same naman yung index nila. So we simply multiply the radicands and copy the same index. Nakuha. So yun lang po yung pinagkaiba niya sa addition and subtraction. So multiply na natin. So we have 1 times 2, we have 2. And then 2 times 2, we have 4. So square root of 4. Nakuha. Pero hindi pa to simplest form kasi yung square root of 4 ay ano? Yan po ay nasi-simplify pa. What is the square root of 4? So copy lang to. And the square root of 4 is 2. Tama naman. So we have 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So ito po ang sagot natin sa letter A. Again, saan nanggaling si 2? Si square root of 4. Pag magkatabi po, the operation between them is multiplication. So di ba ito multiplication? So ayun po. Saan nanggaling si square root of 4 dito? Minultiply natin and then simplify yung square root of 4. We have 2 and then 2 times 2 we have 4. So ganun lang kasimple ang ating multiplication. So therefore, magpo-proceed na tayo agad sa letter D. So sabi sa letter D, i-divide down natin yung second radical by the first radical. So, divide natin. So, we have 2 square root of 2 divided by square root of 2. So, tama naman, di ba? Kasi divide the second radical from the first radical. So, kung mapapansin nyo guys, square root of 2 tsaka square root of 2 is just the same. Di ba? Sabi ko dati, kapag nagdi-divide kayo, kapag same na same yung number, for example, 3 divided by 3, the answer will always be equal to 1. So, kahit na anong number pa yan, kapag dinivide mo sa sarili mo, the answer is always 1. So, therefore, cancel ko na to kasi 1 na to. So, matitira si 2, and then, again, square root of 2 times, divided by square root of 2 is just 1, di ba? So, 2 times 1 is 2. So, eto na po agad yung answer natin sa letter D. Again, saan nanggaling si 1? Ito po, square root of 2 is square root of 2. Kapag dinivide ko yan, cancel. 1 na po yan. Nakuha, and then times 2, so 2. In short, cancel na lang to, matitira na lang si 2. Nakuha. Ayan. So, nakuha na po natin yung sagot sa number 1. So, again, ang unang ginawa natin ay ginawa nating similar by reducing the radicand. So, kapag tapos na natin gawing similar, sasagutan na rin agad natin yung letter B sa learning task, which is yung 4. Find the sum, yung ating isasubtract natin, imumultiply natin, and dinidivide natin. Nakuha. So, let's now proceed with number 2 since we're done with number 1. So, tandaan ito ha. Okay na. So, number 2 na po tayo. Ayan, so sa number 2, we have cube root of 3 at saka cube root of 24. So yung first task natin, gagawin nating similar. So may clue na ulit tayo dito. So ibig sabihin, isa sa mga factors na 24 na kukunin natin is 3. So we have, syempre si cube root of 3, just copy. And the other one is cube root of what? Syempre yung isa nga ay 3. So dahil yung isa ay 3, saan natin imumultiply si 3 para maging 24? We all know that is 8. So tama naman, 8 times 3 is 24. Kasi nga may clue na tayo dito na yung isang factor na makukuha natin dito must be 3. Nakuha, and then paliitin, dahil reducing tayo, so we have cube root of 3, and then yung isa po, meron bang perfect cube dito sa dalawang to? Syempre, si 8. Si 8 po is a perfect cube. So pag sinabi natin perfect cube, number na kapag tinimes tatlong beses sa sarili niya, magbibigay ng 8. So ano po yun? So we have 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. So therefore, ang cube root ni 8 ay 2. Nakuha. Kasi nga, yung 2, kapag tinimes natin 3 times sa kanyang sarili, magbibigay ng answer na 8. So yun po. So cube root of 8 is 2. And then yung 3 ay mananatili sa loob. So just copy. So cube root of 3. So ito na po yung pinaliit na version ng ating cube root of 24. We have 2 cube root of 3. So ito na po yung ating similar radicals. Nakuha. Yan po yung ating answer sa letter A na gagawin nating similar radicals. Now, Ito na po yung gagamitin natin to solve for letter B in your learning task number 1, yung 4 po. So, doon na agad tayo sa letter A. So, sabi sa letter A, find the sum. So, we have cube root of 3 plus 2 cube root of 3. Similar yan. So, therefore, just simply add the numerical coefficient. Kapag walang numerical coefficient dito, automatic yan ay may invisible na 1. Nakuha. And then, plus, yung numerical coefficient nito, 2. And then, just copy the same radical. So, we have cube root of 3. Nakuha. So, we have 1 plus 2 is 3. And then, just copy cube root of 3. So, therefore, ito na po ang ating final answer sa letter A. So, we have 3 cube root of 3. Okay. So, now, let's now proceed with letter B. So, letter B natin, dito ko nalagay. Letter B, subtract daw natin. So, we have 2 cube root of 3 minus cube root of 3. So, hindi na kasya, kaya binaba ko na lang ha. Again, 2 cube root of 3 minus cube root of 3. So, same rule sa addition. Sinasubtract natin yung numerical coefficient. So, 2 minus yung invisible na 1 dito. Pag malilito, index yun, hindi yung numerical coefficient. So, 2 minus 1, and then just copy cube root of 3. Same lang ng rule sa addition. So, 2 minus 1 is 1. Then copy cube root of 3. And sabi ni ma'am, kapag 1 yung numerical coefficient, so pwede nang hindi isulat. So, the answer or the final answer will be cube root of 3. So, yan na po agad yung final answer natin sa letter B. Nakuha. So, letter C na agad tayo. So, letter C, syempre, we find the product of each pair of radicals. So, mumultiply natin tong dalawang to. So, we have cube root of 3 times 2 cube root of 3. So, ano nga ulit yung rule natin sa multiplying? So, minumultiply lang natin the numerical coefficient. So, yung invisible 1 times yung ating 2. And then, minumultiply din natin yung ating radicands, pero copy lang the same index. So, we have cube root of, yung dalawa nating radicands, we have 3 times 3. Nakuha. Again, sa multiplying, just copy the same index and then i-multiply yung radicands. So, we have 3 times 3. Nakuha. And then, simplify. So, we have 1 times 2. We have 2. And then, just copy cube root of 3 times 3 is 9. Oh, now, ma'am, meron po bang cube root si 9? Meron po ba? Ayan. Syempre, wala. So, therefore, ito na ang ating final answer. Since wala namang cube root si 9. Si 8 lang, di ba? So, ayan na po yung ating final answer sa letter C. Yan. So, let's now proceed with letter D. So, sa letter D, i-divide down natin. So, we have 2 cube root of 3 divided by cube root of 3. So, napakasimple. Katulad lang din ng kanina dahil pareho to, cancel na. So, matitira na lang si 2. So, the answer will be 2. Agad. So, ganun lang. Kasi nga, ito tsaka ito, kapag dinivide ay 1. So, 1 times 2 is just 2. So, therefore, 2 na agad ang final answer. So, yan na po ang sagot sa number 2. Again, unang kinuha natin, gagawin natin similar by reducing the radicand, and then gagamitin natin to find the sum, the difference, the product, and the quotient. So, we're done with number 2. Let's now proceed with number 3. Ayan, so number 3 na tayo. So unlike numbers 1 and 2, kung mapapansin nyo, sa number 3, wala po tayong magiging clue kasi wala naman po tayong prime number or pareho pong malaki pa yung value dito. Pero kung mapapansin nyo, both divisible by 5. So therefore, alam natin na isa sa mga factor niyan ay 5. So unahin muna natin ito. So what is the square root of 45 kapag pinaliit? Dahil nga 5 ang kanyang factor, so we have 9 times 5. Kasi 9 times 5 is 45. So syempre, kailangan may marireduce tayo, kaya yung 9 ay i-reduce natin. What is the square root of 9? So alam natin that square root of 9 is 3. So, anong mangyayari sa 5? Matitira lang po sa loob. Since wala naman po siyang square root. So, hindi po siya perfect square. Si 9 lang. So, again, yung 45 ay ginawa nating 3 square root of 5. So, si 125 naman ang papaliitin natin. So, si 125, syempre, alam natin na yung isang factor niya nga is 5. Kasi nga, ang target natin ay maging similar sila. So, ibig sabihin, ano kaya ang multiply ko sa 5 para maging 25? So, syempre, 125 divided by 5 lang. And that is 25. Tama? Oh, now, what is the square root of 25? Syempre, 5. At anong matitira sa loob? So, square root of 5. So, ito na po yung pinaliit na version ng ating square root of 125. Nakuha. So, again, dahil nakita nyo na both divisible yan by 5, so alam nyo na yung 5 ang kanilang magiging common radicand. So, ibig sabihin, hanap nyo lang yung kanilang kapartner na factors po. So, square root of 9 is 3, square root of 25 is 5, and then mananatili si 5 doon sa loob. So, therefore, ito na po yung ating similar radicals po. So, we have 3 square root of 5 at saka 5 square root of 5. Now, nakuha na natin yung similar radicals. Let's now answer letters A to D. So, sa letter A muna tayo, find the sum. So, we have 3 square root of 5 plus 5 square root of 5. So, paulit-ulit lang naman tayo. Siyempre, ina-add natin yung kanilang numerical coefficient. So, we have 3 plus 5, and then just copy the same radical. So, we have square root of 5. So, we have 3 plus 5 is 8, and copy the radical. So we have 8 square root of 5. So final answer na agad sa letter A. So letter B, so subtract daw natin. Subtract the first radical from the second radical. So ito daw. So we have 5 square root of 5 minus 3 square root of 5. Same rule with addition. Pinagkaiba lang, subtraction tayo ngayon. So subtract natin yung dalawang numerical coefficient. So we have 5 minus 3. And then copy the same radical. So we have square root of 5. So 5 minus 3 is 2. Copy square root of 5. So final answer sa letter B. Yan. So napakadali lang naman, diba? So letter C na agad tayo. Find the product. So we have 3 square root of 5 times 5 square root of 5. So multiply the numerical coefficient. So we have 3 times 5. Pero this time, dahil multiplication, pwedeng pag-multiplyin yung ating radicands. Pero dapat same index. Since same index naman, just copy square root. And then 5 times 5. So 5 times 5. Sunod. So 3 times 5 is 15. And then multiply. Square root of 5 times 5, we have 25. And then simplify. So we have 15 times, what is the square root of 25? We have 5. So 15 times 5, or simply, what's the answer? Ayan, 75. So ito na po yung final answer natin sa letter C. So we have 15 times 5, or simply 75. So ganun lang kasimple. So let's now proceed with letter D. So find the quotient. So we have 5 square root of 5 divided by 3 square root of 5. Since kapareho to, square root of 5, square root of 5, so cancel. Ano matitira? Si 5 over 3. So marereduce pa ba natin to? Hindi na po. Pero pwede po kayong mag-answer ng decimal. So yan. Again, saan nanggaling tong si 5 over 3? Cancel to, and then matitira lang si 5 over 3. Pwede na yan, pero kung gusto ng teacher nyo decimal, just simply divide 5 divided by 3. So we're done with number 3. So, number 4 na po tayo. So, again, unang step na ginagawa natin ay ginagawa natin similar. So, this time, may clue tayo si 3. So, si 3, dahil yan ay prime, hindi na natin yan mapapaliit. So, fifth root of 3. And then, ito lang po yung ating papaliitin. So, we have fifth root of 96, diba? So, papaliitin natin yan. Alam natin na yung isang factor ay 3. So, just simply divide. So, 96 divided by 3. So, 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Minus, so 0, bring down 6. We have 6. Divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6 minus and then 0. So, ibig sabihin, ito pa yung isang factor na hinahanap natin. So, we have 32 and then times, syempre, kung saan natin dinivide, kay 3. So, therefore, 32 yung hinahanap natin. Isa pang factor ni 96. Nakapag times sa 3, yun ang magiging answer. So, syempre, ito just copy dahil yan nga po ay nakareduce na. And then, what is the fifth root of 32? May perfect fifth root kaya yan? So, pag sinabi again natin na perfect fifth root, number na kapag times natin 5 times sa kanyang sarili, will magbibigay ng answer na 32. So, try natin si 3. So, we have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81 na agad. So, therefore, mali na po. So, ibig sabihin, mas maliit. So, ibig sabihin, kay 2 tayo. So, we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Try natin, 2 times 2, 4, times 2, 8, times 2, 16, times 2, we have 32. Therefore, si 2 yung hinahanap nating root ni 32. So, therefore, fifth root of 32 is 2. Tama? And then, matitira si 3 sa loob. So, just copy fifth root of 3. So, eto na po yung maliit na version ni fifth root of 96. So, nagawa na natin yung task sa letter A. Na-reduce na natin yung ating radicand at naging similar radicals na po sila. So, we have fifth root of 3 and 2 fifth root of 3 also. Nakuha. So, yan na po yung number 4. Similar radicals na po sila. Let's now answer letters A to D. So, letter A, paulit-ulit na naman tayo. Find the sum. So, we have fifth root of 3 plus 2 fifth root of 3. So, same rule. Add the numerical coefficient. Kapag wala, automatic 1. So, we have 1 plus 2. Yun siya. And then, copy the same radical. So, fifth root of 3. And then, add. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then, just copy fifth root of 3. So, final answer since wala na po tayong ma-re-reduce dyan. Nakuha. So, letter B na agad-agad. Letter B, subtract the first radical from the second radical. So, we have 2 fifth root of 3 minus fifth root of 3. So, same rule sa addition. Pinagkaiba lang. Isasubtract natin this time. So, we have 2 minus yung invisible na 1 and then just copy fifth root of 3. So, 2 minus 1 is 1. Copy fifth root of 3. Or, pwede nang hindi isulat sa numerical coefficient na 1. So, your final answer is fifth root of 3. Guys, yung 5 dun ay fifth root. Root siya. Index po siya. Hindi po siya yung numerical coefficient. Now, letter C na tayo. So, sa letter C, find the product. So, we have fifth root of 3 times 2 fifth root of 3. So, same rule. Multiply lang natin yung numerical coefficient, invisible 1 times 2. And then, copy the same index, fifth root, and then multiply the radicand. So, we have 3 times 3. 1 times 2 is 2. And then, multiply natin sa fifth root of, what is the fifth root of ano? 3 times 3 is 9. Masisimplify ba to? May fifth root ba si 9? Wala. Therefore, ito na po ang ating final answer. So, we have 2 fifth root of 9. So, final answer. Yan. So, yan na po yung answer natin sa letter C. So, let's now proceed with letter D. So, letter D, just divide. So, we have 2 fifth root of 3 all over or divided by fifth root of 3. So, same to. Cancel. Ano na lang matitira? C2. So, ganun lang kadali. Yan na po yung final answer natin sa letter D. So, again, we're done with number 4 letter and letters A to D ng ating learning task 1, letter B. Ayan, so number 5 na tayo. So we have square root of 27 and square root of 75. So again, first step natin, so sa letter A natin, gagawin natin similar. So alam naman natin na si 27 ay, ang factors niya ay 9 times 3. Wala namang iba, di ba? Maliban syempre sa 1 times 27. So we have 9 times 3. And 9 is a perfect square since square root yan. What is the square root of 9? So we all know that is 3. So, matitira si 3 sa loob. So, we have 3 square root of 3. So, therefore, may clue na tayo dito sa pangalawa. So, alam natin na yung hinahanap nating isang factor ay 3. So, just divide 75 by 3. Ano po ang bibigay ng answer nun? So, syempre, 25. So, marunong naman kayo mag-divide, diba? And what is the square root of 25? Syempre, 5. Matitira si square root of 3. So, eto na po agad yung ating similar radicals. So, we have 3 square root of 3 and 5 square root of 3. So, after nating makuha again yung ating similar radicals, pwede na po nating sagutan yung ating letters A to D. So, letter A, again, is addition. So, we have 3 square root of 3 plus 5 square root of 3. So, after natin yan, syempre, paulit-ulit lang naman, add the numerical coefficient. So, we have 3 plus 5, and then copy the same radicals, which is square root of 3. So, we have 3 plus 5 is 8, copy square root of 3. So, final answer. Letter B, so subtract daw. So, 5 square root of 3 minus 3 square root of 3. O baka nagkatanong kayo, bakit po pag sa subtraction at sa division laging baliktad? Kasi yun po yung hinihingi. Sabi sa letter B, subtract the first radical, isubtract daw natin to from the second radical. So, kaya po nauuna to, ha? Ayan, so minus natin. So, we have 5 minus 3, and then copy the same radical, which is square root of 3. So, 5 minus 3 is 2, and then copy square root of 3. So, final answer also. Now, letter C na tayo agad-agad. Sa letter C, find the product. So, we have 3 square root of 3 times 5 square root of 3. So, multiply the numerical coefficient, 3 times 5. And then, copy the same index, multiply the radicand. So, we have 3 times 3. And then, multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. And then, ito naman po. So, we have square root of 3 times 3 is 9. Nakuha. So, we have 15. And then, what is the square root of 9? Syempre, yan ay 3. So, 15 times 3, we have 45. So, ito na po yung final answer natin sa letter C. O guys, actually, ito, di ba? May shortcut naman yan. So, pag sinabi natin square root of 3 times square root of 3, di ba? Ganito din ibig sabihin yan. Square root of 3 times square root of 3, di ba? Ganyan din yun. Yung cancel na lang. Pero kung nahihirapan kayo dyan, pwede naman pong gawin nyo yung ganito. Ha? Kung saan kayo mas nadadalian. So, we're done with letter C. Let's now proceed with the last letter D. Find the quotient daw. So, 5 square root of 3 all over 3 square root of 3. Since pareho ito, tsaka ito cancel, so ano na lang matitira? Si 5 over 3. So, pwede na po ito, or kung gusto nyo ng decimal, go! So, we're done with number 5. So, medyo napapaos na ako dahil napakahaba ng ating learning task number 1. So, 5 to go na lang, and then, we're done. Ayan, so number 6 na tayo, we have square root of 48 and square root of 12. So, simplify natin, mas paliitin, mas madali natin makita yung sa 12, diba? Kasi ang factor niya naman ni 12 na may perfect square, dahil square root tayo is 4. So, 4 times 3 ito. So, 4 times 3, tama? Hindi na pwedeng 6 times 2 dahil ang 6 ay hindi perfect square. So, wala tayong mare-reduce. Bakit ko inuna to dahil mas maliit, mas madaling makita? So, therefore, what is the square root of 4? So, we have 2 and then copy square root of 3. So, inuna ko to para alam na natin yung clue natin. So, therefore, ang hinahanap natin na factor nito na isa ay 3. So, what is, anong number yung kapag tinayin natin sa 3? 48. So, we have, tama, 16. So, 16 times 3 is 48. Nakuha. And what is the square root of 16? So, we have 4. And then, square root of 3. So, eto na po yung ating similar radicals. Nakuha. So, we have 4 square root of 3 and 2 square root of 3. So, let's now answer letters A to D. So, sa letter A, paulit-ulit lang naman, find the sum. So, 4 square root of 3 plus 2 square root of 3. Add the numerical coefficient. So, we have 4 plus 2, and then copy the same radicals. So, 4 plus 2 is 6, and then just copy 3, square root of 3. So, final answer. Ba't ba natin pinapagsama? Kasi di ba in-explain ko na yun before, i-treat natin si radicals natin as variable. So, kung yan ay variable 6x, hindi naman yan pwedeng pagsamahin, di ba? So, therefore, that is already your final answer. So, letter B na tayo. Letter B, syempre, subtract daw natin. So, we have 2 square root of 3 minus 4 square root of 3. So, subtract the numerical coefficient. So, we have 2 minus 4 and then just copy square root of 3. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Negative siya guys kasi mas malaki si 4. So, negative 2, then copy square root of 3. So, ito na po yung final answer natin sa letter B ng number 6. So, let's now proceed with letter C. Find the product. So, we have 4 square root of 3 times 2 square root of 3. So, multiply the numerical coefficient 4 times 2 and then copy the same index and then multiply the radicands. So, ibig sabihin 4 times 2, we have 8 and then square root of 3 times 3 is 9. So, we have 8 and then what is the square root of 9? Syempre, 3. And 8 times 3 is 24. So, ito na po yung final answer natin sa letter C. So, we're done with letter C. Let's now proceed with letter D. So, find the quotient. So, 2 square root of 3 all over 4 square root of 3. So, cancel. Tama. So, dalawa na yan. So, i-reduce natin yung 2/4 sa lowest term kasi fraction yan. Syempre, 2/4 or simply 1/2. So, alam nyo na yan dahil napag-aralan na yan ng maraming panahon nung kayo po ay nasa lower years pa. So, yun. Again, ulit ko ng letter D. So, cancel and then reduce yung 2/4 na magbibigay sa atin ng 1/2. So, yun na po. Doon nagkatapos ang number 6 ng ating letters A and B learning task number 1. So, therefore, kaproceed tayo sa number 7. Okay, so number 7 na tayo. So again, palit-ulit lang naman. So re-reduce natin si 28. So ano naman mga factors niyan? We have 2 times 14 and 4 times 7. Siyempre, ang kukunin natin is yung may perfect square. So therefore, gagamitin natin ay si 4 times 7. So 4 times 7. So bago tayo mag-proceed dito, simplify ko na to. What is the square root of 4? So yun po ay 2 and then square root of 7. So may clue na tayo dito sa 63 na ang isang factor niya is yung 7. So 7. So saan ko i-multiply sa 7 para maging 63? Syempre we all know that is 9. Tama? So 9 times 7 is 63. And what is the square root of 9? So we have 3 and then copy square root of 7. So ito na po yung ating na reduce. Yan na po yung ating similar radicals. So let's now answer letters A to D. So, nakakapaos itong ginagawa ko dahil diretso. Ayan. So, letter A tayo. Find the sum. So, we have 2 square root of 7 plus 3 square root of 7. So, ulit-ulit lang naman. I-add ang numerical coefficient. 2 plus 3 and then copy square root of 7. 2 plus 3 is 5 square root of 7. So, final answer. So, letter B. Letter B, subtract the first from the second. So, ibig sabihin, we have 3 square root of 7 minus 2 square root of 7. So, subtract natin. So, we have 3 minus 2 and then copy square root of 7. So, 3 minus 2 is 1. Copy square root of 7. Or sabi ni ma'am, ng paulit-ulit, kapag 1 na yung numerical coefficient, pwede nang hindi isulat. So, pwede pong isulat. Yes po, syempre, pwede namang isulat nyo din. Nakuha. So, letter C na tayo. Find the product. So, we have 2 square root of 7 times 3 square root of 7. So, we have 2 times 3. And then, square root of 7 times 7. So, ginaganito ko para hindi kayo malito ha, pero pwede na ngayon ng cancellation kung saan kayo mas nadadalian. So, 2 times 3, we have 6. And then, square root of 7 times 7, we have 49. So, we have 6 times, what is the square root of 49? Syempre, 7. And 6 times 7 is 42. So, ito na po yung final answer natin sa letter C. So, letter D na tayo. So, letter D, we have 3 square root of 7 all over 2 square root of 7. So, cancel. Matitira si 3 over 2. So, hindi na po siya mare-reduce or pwede namang decimal or pwede namang mixed number kung anong gusto o anong trip ng teacher nyo. So, sa akin, pwede na po yung ganyan. So, therefore, yan na po yung aking ibabox. Nakuha. So, we're done with number 7. So, ibig sabihin, 3 na lang and then we're done with learning task number 1. Ayan, so number 8 na tayo. So sabi dyan, 4th root of 32 at saka 4th root of 162. So yan, palaki na ng palaki yung number natin. So dito muna tayo sa 32. So hanap tayo ng factors ni 32 na kung saan may perfect 4th root. Siyempre lagi tayong magsimula kay 2 kasi yung pinakamaliit. So we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Dahil 4th root tayo, 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8 times 2 is 16. So therefore, tama. Factor siya ni 32. So we have 4th root of 16 yung isa, and then kanino ko sa times si 16 para maging 32, syempre kay 2. Nakuha, again si 16 ay perfect 4th root, kaya yun po yung aking inilagay. So what is the 4th root of 16? Kanina pinilagay ko na, syempre 2. And then copy 4th root of 2. So may clue na tayo dito. Alam natin na yung isang factor niya is 2. So we have 4th root of, saan ko i-multiply si 2 para maging 162? So 162 divided by 2, we have 8, 16, 0, 2. So kay 82. Ay, sorry na, kay 81. So, burahin ko na to. Kay 81 ko, ita-times si 162 para makuha ko yon. Si 2 pala, rather. Ayan. Nakuha. So, ano po kaya yung 4th root ni 81. So, yung 2 alam na natin, di ba? 4th root of 16 is 2. Siyempre kay 81, try natin si 3. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So, we have 3 times 3 is 9. Times 3 is 27. Times 3 is, tama naman. So, 81. So, therefore, ang 4th root ni 81 ay 3. And then, 4th root of 2. So, therefore, ito na po yung ating similar radical. So, we have 2, 4th root of 2, and 3, 4th root of 2. So, nakuha na natin yung similar radicals. Let's now answer letters A to D. So, A to D, letter A, add. So, we have 2, 4th root of 2, plus 3, 4th root of 2. So, add the numerical coefficient. So, we have 2 plus 3. So, ito siya. Lakas ng hangin. And then, copy the radical, which is 4th root of 2. So, we have 2 plus 3 is 5. Copy 4th root of 2. So, final answer sa letter A. So, letter B na tayo. So, sabi sa letter B, subtract. So, we have 3, 4th root of 2, minus, dito ko nalagay sa baba ha, 2, 4th root of 2. Subtract. So, we have 3 minus 2, and then copy 4th root of 2. So, 3 minus 2 is 1, 4th root of 2, or simply, paulit-ulit si ma'am, kapag 1 lang, pwede na hindi isulat. But anuhin ko na tulinawan ko lang, ngayon po ay 4. 4th root of 2 na lamang. So, ito na po yung final answer sa letter B. Now, let's now proceed with letter C. Find the product. So, we have 2, 4th root of 2, times 3, 4th root of 2. So, multiply. So, we have 2 times 3, and then copy the same index, 4th root of 2 times 2. 2 times 3 is 6, and then just copy 4th root of 2 times 2 is 4. So, meron pa po bang simplified term si 4, si 4th root of 4? So, wala. Liitan ko lang konti ito, baka malito kayo ha. So, therefore, yan na po yung final answer. Just copy. So, we have 6, 4th root of 4. So, final answer. Nakuha? So, yan na po si letter C. And then, lastly, kaya letter D tayo, divide. So, we have 3, 4th root of 2, divided by 2, 4th root of 2. So, cancel, matitira si 3 over 2. So, we're done with letter D. So, paulit-ulit lang naman kaya madali, di ba? Ayan, so tayo ay nakawalo na. Last 2 na lang and we're done. Okay, so number 9. So, second to the last na tayo. So, cube root of 40, tsaka cube root of 135. So, hanap tayo ng factor ni 40 na may perfect cube. So, alam naman natin na yun po ay si 8. Kasi, ang 8 is perfect cube, di ba? Nasagutan natin kanina. Kasi 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So, 8 times 5. Para makuha natin si 40. So, what is the cube root of 8? So, we all know that is 2. And then, just copy cube root of 5. So, may clue na tayo dito. Alam natin na yung factor nitong isa is 5. So, 5. So, 135 divided by 5. So, we have 2, 10, 35. So, we have 27. So, 27 pa yung isang factor ni 135. So, 27 times 5. And what is the cube root of 27? Siyempre, we have 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Times 3 is 27. So, cube root of 27 is 3. And then, just copy cube root of 5. Yung matitira sa loob. So, ito na po agad yung ating similar radicals. So, let's now proceed with answering letters A to D. So, ayan, nakuha na natin yung similar. So, let's now proceed agad-agad sa letter A. Siyempre, find the sum. Paulit-ulit lang naman, 2 cube root of 5 plus 3 cube root of 5. So, add the numerical coefficient. So, we have 2 plus 3 and then copy cube root of 5. So, we have 2 plus 3 is 5. Copy cube root of 5. So, final answer sa letter A. So, letter B na tayo agad-agad. So, we have 3 cube root of 5 minus 2 cube root of 5. So, nakikita pa naman, di ba? And then, subtract. So, we have 3 minus 2 copy cube root of 5. So, we have 3 plus minus 2 is 1. Cube root of 5 or paulit-ulit. Pag 1, pwede nang hindi isulat. So, therefore, this will be your final answer already. So, let's now proceed with letter C. So, letter C, multiplication. So, 2 cube root of 5 times 3 cube root of 5. So, multiply the numerical coefficient. So, 2 times 3. And then, copy the same index, cube root of. And then, multiply the radicand. So, 5 times 5. So, 2 times 3 is 6. Copy the same index and then multiply the radicands. 5 times 5 is 25. So, may 25 po ba is a perfect cube or may factor po ba siya na may perfect cube? So, wala na. Therefore, ito na po ang ating final answer. So, we have 6 cube root of 25. So, final answer. So, we're done with letter C. So, letter D na tayo. Find the quotient. So, we have 3 cube root of 5 divided by 2 cube root of 5. So, dahil pareho, cancel, matitira si 3 over 2. 3 over 2 or sabi ko nga sa inyo kung anong trip ng teacher nyo, decimal or mixed number, it's up to them. So, eto na po yung sa akin. Payag na po ako dyan. So, therefore, we're done with number 9. Isang number na lang and we're done! Okay, so number 10 na tayo. So this will be our last dun sa ating learning task number 1 sa ating week 7 na operations of radical. So dito na tayo sa square root of 8. Syempre, alam natin na may perfect square root, perfect square, di ba? See, 4. So we have 4 times 2 kasi ang 4 is a perfect square. So what is the square root of 4? We have 2. And then, syempre matitira si square root of 2 sa loob. Now, yan, so pintuan ko yun, nagdadabog yung aking bunsosay. So, ayun, pasensya na. Let's now continue. Okay, so, excuse me po. Pakaingay kasi nito yung say eh. Ayan, kay 200 na tayo. Teka. Okay, kay 200 na tayo. So, alam natin na yung clue natin is 2 yung isang factor. So, saan ko i-multiply si 2 para maging 200? Siyempre kay 100. So, 100, alam natin that is a perfect square. So, what is the square root of 100? Yun po ay 10. So, copy square root of 2. So, masyado ba mabilis? O, yan. Kasi number 10, na alam kong master nyo na yan. So, yan na po yung ating dalawang similar radical. So, let's now answer letters A to D. So, letter A na tayo, find the sum. So, we have 2 square root of 2 plus 10 square root of 2. So, add the numerical coefficient. We have 2 plus 10 and then copy the same radical. So, 2 plus 10 is 12 and then copy square root of 2. So, this will be our final answer sa letter A. So, letter B na tayo agad-agad. So, subtract. So, we have 10 square root of 2 minus 2 square root of 2. Subtract the numerical coefficient. We have 10 minus 2 and then just copy the same radical square root of 2. So, 10 minus 2 is 8 and then copy square root of 2. Final answer. So, letter C na tayo. Find the product. So, we have 2 square root of 2 times 10 square root of 2. So, multiply the numerical coefficient. So, we have 2 times 10. Copy the same index dun sa ating radicals and then multiply the radicands. So, we have 2 times 10 is 20 and then multiply 2 times 2 is 4. So, 20 just copy. And then, what is the square root of 4? Syempre, 2. And 2 times 20 is 40. So, ito na po yung final answer natin sa letter C. So, last na, kay letter D na tayo. Find the quotient. So, we have 10 square root of 2 all over 2 square root of 2. Syempre, cancel ito. Dahil square root of 2 divided by square root of 2 is just 1. Cancel. So, 10 divided by 2 is 5. So, ayan. Diyan na po nagtatapos ang aking numbers 1 to 10 na week 7 operations of radical learning task number 1, letters A and B. So, pinagsabay ko na po para mabilis. So, dito po muna tatapusin ni Teacher Camille ang aking video dahil masyado nang mahaba. So, sasagutan natin yung learning task number 2 doon sa aking sunod na gagawing video na lamang. So, ibig sabihin, dito na po nagtatapos ang napakahabang lesson. So, medyo napaus ako doon, no? So, ayan na po. Initay na rin ako ng aking bunsosay at aking panganay si Carmel. So, kaya po dito nagtatapos at nagpapaalam na si Teacher Camille. Hope na marami po kayo natutunan ngayong araw na ito. Huwag kalimutan i-like, i-share sa inyong mga classmates and friends, and don't forget to subscribe para ma-notify kayo if ever may bagong upload na video si Teacher Camille. So yun lang po. Maraming salamat and this is again si Teacher Camille saying goodbye!